Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Let's see.
All right, let's jump into the welterweight division. A lot of talk between fighters. No fights really set in stone. No contracts. The title fight, Leon Edwards, doesn't seem like he's injured. Doesn't seem like he's in any way or form, like not wanting to fight. So I think they offered him a bunch of fights for UFC 300. Everybody turned it down. I think that's the first time Dana White even said anything positive about Leon Edwards, to be honest with you.
He was like, he took all the fights, but everybody else
He's
turned.
a dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog. Like, I love him now because he does what I want. But so in this this clutterfuck of shit in the welterweight division, I remember one of the fighters would tell me, like, the welterweight division is the welterweight division. W-A-I-T. That's the welterweight division. Because everybody's waiting and sitting on their rankings. But Colby Covington, he's disputing the claims. He's been offered a fight with Ian Gary. Ian Gary and Colby Covington have been going back and forth for a long time. Colby Covington has said a lot of things that would justify retaliation in the street. To be honest with you, not in the cage, like retaliation in the street. For many fighters, he said things that have, if Belal Muhammad attacked him and beat him up in the street, I'd laugh. If Ian Gary beat him up in the street, I'd laugh. Jorge Masvidal punched him in the street, we laughed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
we laughed.
like a lot of the stuff he's saying, he deserves it, right?
Yeah,
Is it funny sometimes? Yes, it's funny. Is it entertaining sometimes? Yes. Sometimes it's cringe. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But he's him. And now the flame is dwindling down. It's like the candle. You know what I mean? Like, it's like right at it's about this much left of the wax.
Yeah.
And it's just flickering, right? And that's Colby Covington in the division right now. But whatever he says, he makes headlines, man. And that, the thing about it is, fighters should just say whatever, and they should lie, because nobody's fact-checking anything. They're just printing articles and headlines on what you say. And that's what the media is right now, or it is. In MMA more than, I don't know about other sports, because I think other sports, they have to fact check and,
Yeah, other sports seem to have legitimacy and
There's more
right?
integrity, but I don't know how much. Yeah, but still there's some.
Yeah, there's still more, right, over there, because they're more in the spotlight, I think. But fighting is just like, yo, you said something? Yeah, we're just going to print the headline. And then
it's the Wild West, man.
Yeah, it is definitely the Wild West. And, so Ian Gary saying that he's, he said that he was offered like 4 fighters. I think he said 4 or 3. So Colby Covington,
Right.
MVP, which that's the fight I guess he wants to take now.
Interesting.
That'd be a
MVP.
cool fight.
That is definitely a good fight. And then then there was like 2 others. I think, shit, it doesn't say here. But he was offered 4 names and he said yes to all of them.
Okay.
Colby Covington was one. MVP was the other, and there was 2 more. None of them have responded, or none of them have signed a contract, right?
Right. Yeah.
Colby Covington, he just lies, right, all the time. I remember when, after the last fight against Leon, he said that he had a broken foot, and then people saw him walking around after the fight, like normal.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you had a broken foot, you would not be walking
you would not be
around.
walking around.
And then you'd have to have surgery, most likely. There would be proof, right?
Yeah.
But people in Miami, where he lives, said that they saw him walking around
Just
like
chilling.
normal. Yeah, So Colby Covington is like a manipulator with the interviews and what's funny is, like, the interviewers, it's like MMA interviewing is just like, you just let them say whatever they say. Because really, that's what gets the clicks. And I understand that aspect of it. Like, if you could get a Colby Covington interview, good for you. But you're going to be hearing some nonsense.
Right.
And you got to just accept it as nonsense because it's going to get your clicks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's the grabbing attention side.
Exactly,
of things.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is right now. Ian Gary, MVP. Colby Covington, MVP, Colby Covington, Ian Gary, like Belal Muhammad is there. They're saying like he's deserving of a title shot. But nowadays, deserving doesn't mean shit.
Right. Because
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rankings right now, and it's that's
Isn't
like
Belal?
yeah.
It
So
should be number
Leon
one.
Edwards is champ. Kamaru Usman's 1. Belal Muhammad is 2. Shavkat is 3. Colby Covington's 4. Jack Della is 5.
All right. So if you had, you know, your wish list, right? So let me put up the rankings as well, and so I could tell you guys.
Yeah.
So if you had your wish list of matching up the welterweight division, right? These are the fighters that you need to be matching up, right? You got Leon. He's a champ. Who should he fight next?
To be honest, there's a part of me that wants to see him fight Belal. And the reason why is because I'm almost tired of hearing people be like,
He deserves it.
The marketing's working.
yeah. I mean, but to be fair, it is like, it's such a long story. And it's also such a long story of Belal being like, but the eye poke and everything. And it's like, man, let's just move on from it. Let's just like get that fight out of the way. If he becomes champ, amazing, right? I don't think he will, but you know, and he's just like, unfortunately for the guy, he's just not loved by the fans, right? So it just, you know, he's a good fighter. He's a solid fighter. He's beaten some really good dude, like amazing athletes and everything. But he's just like, and even for me, it's just like, I don't know what it is. I'm just not like, I almost want to like get it out of the way and then see who, like Leon versus MVP, Leon versus, you know, somebody else, you know.
Right. Yeah, because looking at the rankings, it's like, okay, who's already fought each other, right? And it's just like, all right, well, Leon's already fought Kamaru. So then Belal's like next on that list. Shavkat's the next one down. That's an intriguing one.
Yeah. I mean, Shavkat, I think is a future champ.
Yeah, and I think Jack Della Maddalena called him out, right? And so
they should go.
Right.
They should fight next.
Yeah, and then Colby Covington's like ranked in between them. So it's kind of not sure who should be fighting who at the moment. It's kind of like people have fought each other, right? And like right below Jack Della is Gilbert Burns, and they fought.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, you gotta look at it like this. UFC 304, July 27th is in Manchester, England. So
you're gonna want Leon.
you need to have a
head.
you gotta have Leon Edwards on there fighting somebody, and then Tom Aspinall maybe.
Yeah.
But I think Leon is probably going to be the guy that's gonna headline that event.
Makes
and
sense.
Belal Muhammad, it's weird, like they don't want to announce Belal Muhammad. Because they're trying to find, they've got to be trying to find, they got to be trying to find some other options, right? Like, because that fight should be happening.
I've never seen somebody that is so deserving, but just so unliked that it stops him. Like,
it's weird.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
he doesn't seem like a bad dude. He doesn't really say anything bad, right?
No, but
just kind of lacks that like it factor of entertainment value.
It's so strange though, because like I understand it though.
Right. It's like gets the job done. It's like what one of my coaches would have called like just meat and potatoes, like basic stuff, nothing crazy, but it gets the job done, and it's got him quite far without taking a crazy amount of damage.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's smart. It's not as entertaining to a casual viewer. Like I understand.
But like it's such good fundamentals and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand why he's not really like pushed or anything. Because, I mean, I can't really think of any moment that I was like, damn, you know what I mean? Or it's just, unfortunately, this is an entertainment sport.
Yeah.
Too.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that, like, me, I have the viewpoint of like, this is a sport, kinda. And merit should be involved without a doubt.
Yeah.
But then it's also entertainment. It's also like how much you can sell. It's all part of that, right? Because promoters are not gonna want to have a guy that's the best in the world or one of the best in the world, but nobody wants to see them fight.
Yeah.
Like the promoter will release you.
Right.
You could be the best dude in the world, but if nobody wants to see you fight, then why would the promoter even bring you on the show?
Yeah.
You know, like so. Leon, Belal should be fighting. Manchester, I think it will be announced. It's just, I don't know why they're delaying. They're probably trying to see if Shavkat can make it, right? But Shavkat was he had some injuries, I think, after the last fight, or going into the last fight, and then he's recovering from the injury. But I think he'll be ready for
July, was it?
For July, end of July, right? So I think that Shavkat will probably likely get the next title shot. For some reason, I just get this feeling.
Belal.
Below Belal. If Belal doesn't get the title shot, he should fight Kamaru Usman.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's number 1 and 2. Why not?
Yeah,
right?
why not? Makes sense.
Shavkat, jumps. He's number 3. He gets the title shot in Manchester against, and then Colby Covington's number 4. I don't understand how he's number 4. He shouldn't even be top 15. He hasn't beat anybody in like a couple years in the top 15.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So Colby Covington, he should get. I say you should just give Colby Covington Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns sitting at number 6. Colby's number 4. Jack Della should fight at least. Jack Della's injured too as well.
Yeah.
He just had surgery, I think.
Yeah, I think he got injured fighting Gilbert Burns, right?
Yeah. And Gilbert Burns was winning that fight.
Oh, I mean, if it wasn't for that last second KO, he would have.
He would have won that fight.
Yeah.
That was
But
intense.
it just shows you Jack Della he's legit.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he.
And Jack Della, I think
Not over
once
till it's over.
1 through 3 gets figured out, I think he should slide in and fight whoever's dangling, there. You know what I mean?
Him calling
but
out
he might not be fighting for a while.
Yeah, him calling out Shavkat was interesting just because, having watched how he did against Burns all the way up until that knockout, I was just thinking, I don't think that's a good match for you.
I think it's actually a good thing that he's kind of taking a break.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
You know what I mean? But Jack Della and Ian Gary, those guys are 2 young future champions, basically.
right,
That's the
right.
way I look at it.
Yeah.
So Jack Della, I would love to see Jack Della versus Kamaru Usman. That would be a good fight, you know what I mean? Ian Gary, he's looking at MVP, which means he's going backwards in the rankings. I don't
But-
even think MVP is ranked. No, MVP is number 13.
It'd be-
Ian Gary's number 7.
It'd be going backwards, but
Yeah, money and fame and the style, everybody's intrigued by it.
Yeah,
and
is
if
it-
they do Manchester, it could be Ian Gary versus MVP.
Oh, true. I guess UK region,
Yeah.
you could kind of sell it in that direction.
Sean Brady's number 8. Stephen Thompson's number 9. Jeff Neal number 10. Buckley at number 11. Buckley should be getting a step up in competition. I think Buckley versus Stephen Thompson is a fight. It's a good fight. Jeff Neal, Sean Brady, did they fight already? Maybe they did.
Not
I don't know.
to my memory, but
And then you got Kevin Holland at number 15 and Vicente Luque at number 14. Neil Magny's at number 12.
Wasn't Holland just matched up with somebody?
Yeah, at middleweight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so he's fighting middleweight, I believe.
Oh.
But yeah, so if you just look at the top 5, or even just the top, 10 or whatever, it's not that difficult to match them up. It's just, where are they? Are they injured? Are they gonna have enough time to prepare? You know what I mean? There's so many factors, right, that go into matching up a
That
fight.
division is just weirdly constipated, man.
And then and then some fighters they just want to take a break, man. Sometimes they just want to step away from even training and just live normal for a little bit.
just heal, man.
And heal, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know which fighters are in that mode, right?
No, I get that, right? You get cancellations, you get injured, you basically go through multiple camps and everything without actually fighting.
right.
Yeah.
People don't see that stuff.
Yeah. Huh.
After one of the last podcasts and where we were talking about how a fight could get canceled last minute or whatever.
Right.
I had people messaging me being like, I didn't realize that.
What?
Yeah. And they were like, oh, but being a fighter, it just looks so it looks so cool, or it looks so great. And I'm like, yo, it's
the worst
it's
job
the
in the
worst
world.
job. I don't know why I picked this job.
you get beat up.
I love what I do, but also I'm dumb.
There's no proper way to success in fighting.
Right.
It's it's not like you go to college, you graduate with this degree, and you apply for companies, and then one of it accepts you, and you work up the ladder.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah, the path is really not that straightforward, right? It's
the path of most resistance. That's what you should call it.
Yeah. It's
true.
like,
You'd be like, guys, what is the path of most resistance for you in
Yeah.
this fight?
yeah. I was like, when I was 13, I just was like, how can I make my life as difficult as possible?
Yes, become a fighter.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking in the mirror. It's like, I want a difficult life.
Yeah.
I want the worst life possible.
It's like-
so I could just struggle.
Yeah.
It's like I want to make good money, but I want to make it in the hardest way possible.
It's like,
all right. Here
it's
we
like
are.
I look in the mirror and I'm like, well, I could be a businessman like my father,
Yeah.
or I could get punched in the face for money. It's like,
And then my family betrays me. Because I didn't listen to them.
Yeah.
You know what trips me out is about, like, that also trips me out is, like, families betraying their, like, kid because they didn't do what they told them to do.
Man,
Yeah.
I got
It's
lots
like-
of
Well, for sure, right?
Asian families.
yeah,
Yeah,
brother,
Asian
you're
families
Asian.
is the worst.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
just
lucky.
saying.
I got white parents.
Yeah. But you know, because you grew up in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you understand.
Like,
you
I've
probably had
seen-
friends like that.
All my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
It's like you don't follow this way.
hey, how come you didn't get an A plus?
Exactly.
But I got the highest grade in class. I don't care.
Yeah, even still, like my mom was way more forward thinking than the rest of my family, and I was still getting resistance. It was-
It's wild, man. It's wild.
It
But yeah, hopefully Leon, you know, he's fighting soon because we need champions to fight, right?